What's up guys, today we are going to be doing another Antflix theory video, and this video is mainly focused on the two new trailers for the new Antflix video. So there's a lot of secrets in those trailers and I'm going to be breaking it down, and I think I also uncovered Miltricia's father's name. So without further ado, let's start this video. So this video has been split into a few parts, so if you are interested in one part more than the other, you can skip to that part. But I strongly recommend you watch all of it because I do go into a lot of details with lots of the different subjects. But first, let's begin with Rat Guy's name, or Miltricia's father's name. I just like to call him Rat Guy. So, during the second trailer, there are a variety of Morse code hidden in the video, and I do translate them, so here's what they all say. So, the first one just translates to "this is a Morse code." Pretty useless. The second one also says "this is also a Morse code." I think I messed up a bit because one, I forgot to put the O in Morse code, and two, I don't think there was supposed to be "is" twice, unless Ant made a Morse code error. But the second code in the video, this is where it really shines. So I translated it to "keep it a secret, Mano." So, obviously I failed a bit. There's supposed to be a space between A and secret. But there we have it. The rat guy's name is revealed. Mano is his name. Now, I know what you guys might be thinking, like, oh, this could also apply to X. But X, well, let's establish who's talking here. X has been known to communicate with anything electric, like a walkie-talkie or the cell phone, or that George was using. So this is obviously X talking to Mano, the rat guy. And plus, X has been using these binary codes in other trailers. I just never covered them because the actual video just came out like a few days after. But anyway, now that we've established that the rat guy is Mano, I'm going to move on to the second topic. What do X's powers do, and how does he use them? And how does he contact the real world if he's in another dimension? Well, I'm going to try to answer this question today. So, we already know that X is in another dimension, presumably the same dimension that Tio and Mr. Stitchy went to, but X can interact with the real world, just like Mr. Stitchy, although Mr. Stitchy had to be summoned. So, X can see the real world and interact with it. For example, when he triggered the fire alarm in the hospital, or he talked to George on the telephone, or the radio. So, X can definitely interact with the real world. But how? Well, X, Mr. Stitchy, and Tio all come from this other dimension. And the other dimension stems from one root, the infection. The infection in the normal reality, that causes all of this to happen. That causes Miltricia to summon Mr. Stitchy. That causes Tio/Harold/ whatever you want to call him, Dude Man, that causes him to make deals with people with desperate needs. That's what causes X to help people out, like George or Ant. So this other dimension is linked to the normal dimension, linked with the infection, and so that's how they are all able to interact with the other dimension. It's linked by the infection. This is also why Mr. Stitchy is so interested in what Mano has to say in the first trailer. Mano says that he can control all the infected using Mateo, and I'll get into that later. And that's why X is trying to stop him. It's for the good of the world. X is obviously the good guy here, and the rat guy, Mano, is obviously the evil guy. He's trying to control the world with all the infected. And Mr. Stitchy obviously wants to control the infected, so he accepts his deal. Oh man, that was a lot of talking. Hope you guys aren't bored. But anyway, on to the next one. How does Mano even control the entire infected world with Mateo? Well, this one's quite quick and I'll explain it quite fast. So, here we go. By the end of the Mateo origin story, you can actually see Mateo has insolence eyes, and he can also interact with the insolence, and he's apparently been having nightmares, because just before he was kidnapped by Mano, the rat man, he was talking to George about his nightmares, and how George was in his nightmares, Mateo was in George's nightmares. So it seems like those who have interacted with the insolence, they can see each other and interact with each other, just like how in the original Piggy game, Zizzy could see Pony when Tio made them interact in the distraction chapter. But here comes the question. This is why they use Mateo's blood instead of Maximus. So Maximus, as we know of, Maximus has not been possessed by the insolence, and therefore does not have special properties within his blood. But Mateo is, of course, possessed by the insolence, and he is, of course, also half infected, just like George in the main Piggy games, like in the Distorted Memory chapter. Speaking of the Distorted Memory chapter, Ant has also said that he's going to make a Distorted Memory chapter as well. So after the 11th episode, The Signal, after that he's going to make a Distorted Memory chapter, then Chapter 12 Part 1, and Chapter 12 Part 2. So the Distorted Memory chapter will most likely follow George, following his nightmares, tackling them head on, just like what X said to him, and somehow trying to find Mateo, because Mateo is in his nightmares, as he says. So, if he tackles them head on, he could probably try and save Mateo, and that's how Mateo is probably going to end up being saved. But finally, now we come to our final point, and this is one of the biggest questions on Antflix, apart from who X is. This is, what did Maximus do? What did Maximus do to Mano to get Mano want to kill him and control Mateo and everything? Well, I did theorize this in my last theory video, but I have a feeling that it's probably wrong. In my last theory video, I theorized that maybe it's because Maximus did something to Miltricia's mother, as the theme in Antflix is that, like, for example, George lost his family to the infected, Mateo lost his family to the infected, and Miltricia's mother is nowhere to be seen. But I did base that theory on quite little evidence, only thinking of, like, the poetic way that George, Mateo, and Miltricia had both lost all their family. But something that we probably all overlooked is Rash. Rash, or Stripes as they call him, was quite early on introduced into the story, but nothing has really come of him so far. The only thing that we do know of is he was used to infect Maximus from the information that we got from X. So, what if Rash played a bigger role? Well, I think I've got an idea of what could have happened. So my assumption is he took out Maximus for a lot of different reasons. One of the big reasons was Maximus would obviously be there to protect Mateo from experimentation and be suspicious of Miltricia and probably recognize Miltricia because the rat guy and Maximus seemed to have met before. By taking out Maximus, Mano's plan could truly unfold, and he could manipulate Mateo and George to follow Miltricia really easily. Another big reason for taking out Maximus could also be since he was researching on Rash/Stripes, or whatever you want to call him, he might be close to figuring out how to control the infected, which is Mano's own goal. Or he could figure out his son has the insolence. But there probably is one part that I'm missing that I probably can't be able to theorize upon right now. So, Maximus and Mano, they seem to go way back, really way back, and it seems like Maximus did something to Mano, and Mano takes revenge on him. Now, maybe episode 11 will give us a hint on what Maximus probably did. But right now, we can't really theorize too much on what he did, other than make a few assumptions using little evidence. Maybe I was right the first time, and maybe Maximus did do something to Morticia's mum. But right now we can't be sure, and plus we don't have that much evidence. But on the bright side, we do at least know a few good reasons for why Mano decided to take out Maximus, and why he did it, how he did it, and we at least know the explanations. But I've covered everything that I wanted to cover on this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like and subscribe. Sorry this video was, it was kind of short, 11 minutes long. If you guys want longer videos, comment down below. If you guys want shorter videos, comment down below. If I do shorter videos, I might make maybe like 2 theories a video, or even just 1 theory a video if the theory is just really long. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. I will be covering the new episode 11, by the way, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye!